So I read, or rather listened to, I actually listened to the audiobook version, which is free at the Mises Institute. I listened to An Austrian Perspective on the History of Economic Thought by Murray Rothbard. It's 2 volumes, big book. So this will take quite a bit to listen to or read, depending on the route you go. Free versions online. I bought hard copies because, I want the book. It was a great book. Now, note that I suppose just about every book has some bias to it, obviously. But this is, as it says in the title, an Austrian perspective. It's Rothbard's perspective on the history of economic thought. So he just goes through all the economists throughout history, all the people that contributed to economic thought, and goes into what he thinks about them and what they did and why they were valuable and why he thinks they, if they weren't valuable, why so. He includes everyone. I mean, all the way up to the first volume is just up to Adam Smith. Most people can't even name an economist before Adam Smith. And most people think Adam Smith was something like Murray Rothbard actually doesn't really like Adam Smith that much. Because from his perspective, he took all these other thinkers that already did the work and put it into his own book. That's his like a very basic, simplistic interpretation of Rothbard's view. But no, it's fantastic. It's a fantastic book because it's basically a history book, but the way Rothbard writes, it's just so easy to understand. It's not written as a textbook. It's written in a way that you can understand. And that's like, I've read a lot of those books recently. It's great how someone can take such like a history book, a history of economics book, and put it in a way that you can understand. And of course, if you're listening to it as an audiobook, that makes it all the much easier because then you can go about your work, you can do whatever you want, and you can listen to it while you're doing that. And instead of just sitting down and actually reading it, it's a lot easier to listen to it, in my opinion. Though you might not, like, I'm always wary of audiobooks in general because, again, you can kind of tune out and tune in. It's a lot harder to do that with reading. But no, it's a great book because people need to learn about, like, economics is such an important thing. If you have a view of politics on anything, like, economics is a big part of that. And the nice thing about Rothbard is he's written so much on it that it's so easy to, like, he writes it in such an easy way that you can just go through it. And he's learned so much, he's read so much, he's written so much that the guy definitely knows what he's talking about. So yeah, I would highly recommend it. Obviously, you're getting his interpretation of things, but you'll learn about so many different economists that you've never heard of before and why they're so valuable. But no, I highly recommend it. Again, I'll leave a link in the description to, if I remember, to the places where on the Mises Institute where you can get the books for free. I recommend buying them if you enjoyed it, like I did. Support the Mises Institute. Like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more. And thanks for watching.